former Australian middle distance runner and one of Caster Semenya's rival on the track, Madeliene Pape believes the recent verdict by the Court of Arbitration for Sports, where they have rejected the South Africans' challenge against the IAAF's new rules, would divide the athletics world. The South African runner and Olympic 800 meters champion on Wednesday had lost a landmark case against athletics governing body IAAF, meaning it will be allowed to restrict testosterone levels in female runners.
I think this decision is going to divide the athletics world, and I don't expect that people will forget about this by the time the World Championships roll around. I mean, we've seen intensifying pressure on the sport of track and field over the last few years to change the way that we are defining the female athlete category, and I expect that the pressure on the sport is not going to change. In fact, it'll probably even intensify further given this latest decision by the Court of Arbitration for Sport. I believe there are options that Semenya's legal team can now pursue if they wish to appeal this decision. They can take their appeal, though, also to through other legal avenues. So the Court of Arbitration for Sport is one way, in a very common way, that athletes contest the decisions and actions of governing bodies. But when it comes to issues related to sex and gender, what we've seen recently actually is some interest in pursuing human rights tribunals as another legal avenue through which women can contest the rules that have been put in place to prohibit the participation of women with high testosterone. I think there are some complicated racial and national dimensions to this issue. You know, I don't think it's an accident that the majority of the women that we know about who have been impacted by these regulations are women of colour from global south countries, and especially from sub-Saharan African countries. I do think there are questions that need to be asked about why that's the case, and why Caster Semenya in particular has attracted such scrutiny, even though the advantages or the margin that she has enjoyed over her competitors is no greater than the margin that we've seen athletes like Usain Bolt and Paula Radcliffe enjoy over their competitors. So yes, I do think there are questions to be asked about how race and nation are playing a role in the women singled out for scrutiny. You know, I'm not sure what Caster is going to do in this situation. Will she move up to the 5,000 meters? Possibly. But I think, you know, for her, based on what she has said in public about this appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, she's achieved a lot as a prolific athlete, and there aren't too many things left that she, you know, needs to achieve. It would be great if she had the world record, but otherwise, you know, she has every medal under her belt. So she was really taking this appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport for the benefit of other women athletes with high testosterone. So I don't know what that means now, whether she will continue to fight to compete, whether she'll change events, whether she'll pursue an appeal, whether she will see what happens if she takes medication to lower her testosterone. Keep in mind that she has won an Olympic gold medal while allegedly being on medication to lower her testosterone. So she may opt to do that again and see if she can continue to be a dominant athlete. I'd like to add that I think it would be a great loss for the sport of track and field if Semenya wasn't able to compete at her finest. I mean, she is a prolific female athlete, and she's a great role model for young women around the world, and especially women in sub-Saharan Africa and her home country of South Africa. So she has a really quirky personality. She has a lot of things to say and to talk about, which we often don't get to hear about because people are so fixated on this topic of high testosterone. So I think it would be a great loss to the sport if Semenya didn't continue to compete at her best.